hello. It is Tasty Yes Tuesday, and Elizabeth is here. I am here. I'm going to do a quick check here to make sure that I am up and running. If you are joining me here live or you're catching the replay, let me know in the comments. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's just do a quick check here to make sure I'm on. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how you can sell faster with the human connection. So let's just make sure that I'm up and running. I'm trying to grab my Facebook here, and it looks like I'm up. So say hi. If you're watching in, tell me where you are tuning in from. Are you excited about today's episode? Today, I'm going to be talking about how do you sell faster with the human connection. What are some common mistakes that a lot of people make? Oftentimes rookies, people who are new to selling, sometimes not always new. Sometimes you've just been really selling the bad way, right? They often forget and they try to skip these 3 golden rules that I'm going to share with you today. So wherever you are in your journey, whether you are building your multi-6-figure business and growing and scaling, or you're looking at startup and you have this business idea that you've been thinking about for a while, or a side hustle that you're looking to turn into a full-time gig so that you can exit your 8-to-5 job, stay tuned. Stay tuned. A lot of people often think about sales and it scares them. Some people, they can embrace it and they're like, oh, this is fun. I can tell you that by the time that you're done with this episode, you're going to be walking away with 3 things. You're going to be able to, 1, walk away with really those 3 golden rules that I want you to keep in mind when you're thinking about selling in your business. And the second thing that I want you to be able to walk away with is something really tactical and tangible that you could immediately implement inside of your business. I'm all about getting things done. Because why, friends? Because results happen in the doing. Results happen in the doing. Type that into the comments if you are catching this, because when you type, right, or you write down what I'm telling you, it sticks and you can remember it much, much better. All right. And if you're driving or you're multitasking, I'm just going to ask you to not type. All right. So if we haven't had a chance to meet yet, hello, I am Elizabeth Yang. I am the founder of this community group. This is the place to be if you are looking to simply scale your business to multiple 6 figures and you want to build a rising tide for compassionately ambitious builders. Right? That's what I'm all about here. That's what my students and clients and my community is here all about. All right. So let's talk about sales. Let's talk about where you are in your sales journey, right? This training is for you. If you believe in creating repeat customers, okay, you've got to value building a relationship with your customers so that you get repeat business, okay? This is for you if you want to be able to sell much more authentically, because let's keep it real. We've all been sold to. If you walk around in your house, odds are you have been sold to. The clothes that you wear, you've been sold to. The type of electronics and brands that you buy, you've been sold to, right? So sales is not sleazy. The only time that sales is really sleazy is when you're not shopping. You don't welcome it. You're not here to buy. And someone is literally shoving a sale or an offer in front of you. How many of you have been there? Let me know in the comments, right? This is for you if you're the type of person that truly believes that you're coming from a place of service, right? Because this type of selling is not for you if you're the type that I like to call a one-night stand clients. You get your money once, then you deliver the goods. Hopefully you do, because that's unethical and illegal if you don't, right? And then that's it. And then you're like moving on to the next. You're not even worried about building a relationship. You're not worried about nurturing them. You're not even worried that they're truly going to finish your course. You're not even worried about that. You're already moving on to the next client. This is what I call one night stand clients. You get your money once, and then the next day is like, here you go, all done, gotta go, right? So stay tuned. What comes across sleazy? Let me know in the comments, right? Type it in the comments. Share an experience about a sleazy conversation or sleazy sales interaction that you had. I want you to just think about that for a moment. Okay, what made it sleazy? I guarantee you the golden rule around know, like, and trust did not happen. You see, rookies often skip and try to skip the know, the like, and the trust. And this is the first golden rule. If you want to write this down, awesome. If you are tuning in and you would just love the notes to what I'm teaching today in this episode, type notes into the comments and my team will get you the notes. Got it? Great. Anytime someone tries to skip know, like, and trust, what is that really about? What are they trying to skip? They're trying to skip their credibility with you. If you ever think about where you've had a sleazy experience with someone, it's because that person, you didn't know them. You don't even know if you like them. And for sure, you probably don't trust them. They're not credible, right? They're not credible. And so when they're not credible, right? And they're trying to take your money, asking you to buy something, there's no way that you would hand over your hard-earned dollars to someone, right? That you don't even know, like, and trust. You don't even have credibility with them. And let me just clarify here for you. Just because that person told you what they do, hi, I sell life insurance. Hi, I work for XX company and I'm selling these MLM products. Hi, I am a fill in the blank coach, right? That doesn't mean that they know you. You just told them what you did, but that doesn't mean they know you. You see, knowing you is like they can walk away from the conversation and remember who you are, and they actually can remember what you do. It's not just a simple, hey, this is what I do in a brief conversation. Are you looking for XYZ? Right? They've got to be able to remember who you are from that conversation and what you do. That's really what know is. That's really at the heart of credibility. That first golden rule that people try to skip, right? To get to just those quick sales and get to what I call one night stand clients, they're skipping the golden rule of, do I have credibility? Do I have authority and credibility with this person, with my audience enough that they know, like, and trust me? That's really at the heart of credibility. I want to share with you how powerful the human connection is. It took me a really long time to get my head wrapped around how do I really sell authentically and with the human connection. Once upon a time, believe it or not, I used to be so afraid of sales. I thought I was the worst person when it came to selling, right? I was like, oh my gosh, it made me so nervous because I often thought of sales as those sleazy car salesmen and those random sleazy DMs that I would get with people pitching their services left and right, right? I remember one conversation at DM. This gentleman has DM'd me and he didn't really know each other, but he's like, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm so-and-so and I sell life insurance. I was like, cool, that's awesome, great, right? And then he goes, I'm not trying to sell you anything, so I just want to be clear with you. I'm not trying to sell you anything, but do you happen to know anyone that needs life insurance? Folks, if I don't know, like, and trust you, why the heck would I refer you or anyone that I know to you? Okay. This was like he was trying to this was a soft sell, right? And then I said to him, but I'll think about it. Thank you. And he kept pursuing the conversation, right? And finally, I said to him, look, I don't even know you that well. And I'm quite frankly not looking to buy right now. So Thank you for reaching out, but I believe in getting to know each other before we do business, right? And then he got snarky in the DM and he said, I wasn't even trying to sell to you. I was just asking if you knew anyone that needed life insurance. So he completely should have walked away when I said, no, thank you, kindly, right? But then he came back and was very defensive in that conversation in our DM. And what that golden rule was really about isn't just know, like, and trust. I know that many of you have probably heard that already. It was really about credibility, right? Do you have credibility in your expertise with your audience? And wrapped around credibility is knowing and liking and trusting you. People often think knowing you is just you telling them what your title is, and that's knowing you. No, knowing you means that I have to be able to walk away from a conversation, whether it's in DM or a live conversation, and actually remember, one, your name, and two, what you do. That at its most basic, simple level is what know is about. That's the first golden rule, right? With your audience when it comes to selling with the human connection. Do you have credibility? Do you have credibility with the topic that you are an expert on, the products or service that you're selling? This is true whether you are a service professional provider or you are selling tangible products. See, oftentimes my founders and entrepreneurs who are selling tangible products like clothing, makeup, home decor, right? Like tangible products, stickers, they often think that in their social media, all they have to do is just talk about their thing, their products, and that's good enough, right? But when you only talk about your products, because again, I'm all about what? If you know me now, right, you know that I am a business strategist focused on getting more customer yeses, commanding higher pricing, and you've got to position yourself as the number one go-to leader in whatever it is that you're selling, in that niche, in that industry, in that category, right? But just because you're selling tangible products does not mean you don't position yourself with that. Because if you're only promoting and speaking about your products, what you're competing on is simply pricing. You are not commanding higher prices because you are attracting the low price shoppers, right? The bargain shoppers, the, what I call the garage sale shoppers, right? And so here's what you can do differently if you are struggling with your credibility, right? People who can sell faster with the human connection know that they cannot skip a step with credibility. They do not try to skip know, like, and trust. Type that into the comments. Do not skip know, like, and trust, right? What you have to do is accelerate through it. What does that mean? If you want to run, right, a 5K, you cannot skip steps to run a 5K and survive and finish the line. Okay. You have to learn what? How to crawl, then to walk faster, to jog, build your endurance, build your way up to a 5K. Once you hit a 5K, right? Then you can go to a 10K or a marathon. You don't go from, I just learned how to crawl all the way to now, I'm going to run a half marathon, let alone a 10K, right? But sleazy sales happen because some people think that they can skip steps. They want to start getting those quick sales, hitting those 10K months, just like trying to run a 10K run, but they want to skip steps because they believe that's the fastest path to getting 10K months. Just like I don't want to learn how to jog or walk. I just want to go from crawling all the way to that 10K run and expecting that I'm going to finish it. Does that make sense to you? Right? So what pros do when they're selling faster is they accelerate the know, like, trust. They think intentionally about their content. Their content is very purposeful. They have one clear conversion path. I call this conversion path, right? Your marketing and your content and your sales, conversations to conversions path. You have one clear, how do I turn conversations to a conversion path? Okay. Those that are very intentional about building their business this way with their marketing, their operations, their systems, their tools, their social media, their emails, right? That's how you get the fastest way, right? So here's something that you could do immediately is you do a brain dump of all the content that you have right now that you're doing, whether it's a social media, email, books, whatever that is, right? And you ask yourself, for each of these content that I have, social media, on my personal business page, Instagram, wherever it is that you have social, Facebook group, do a brain dump and ask yourself, what is the conversation that I'm having with this piece, this touch point? And is it clear that it's helping me convert to sales? Okay. And the conversation that you should be having, again, goes back to know, like, and trust is, does my audience know what I do? No. Literally, like, they can walk away from a post and remember your name, who you are, right? Do they seem to like me? There's some sort of engagement and they're responding to the conversations and questions I'm asking them. And then clearly the trust happens when they're willing to jump on a call with you, check out your website, test a product, or give you their hard-earned dollar to buy that product or service, right? That's a no-brainer, okay? So number 2, what is the second golden rule when it comes to selling faster with the human connection? This has everything to do with reciprocity, okay? The faster you get this, the faster you get your sales. Here's the question. You ready for it? Type ready in the comments if you're ready. Ready, 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 right? Hey, Gold. Let's say hi there. I love it. We got Gold up in here. We have someone who wants notes. So yeah, if you want my notes to this episode, go ahead and type notes and my team will get you the summary notes. Okay. Awesome. Love it. Look, Gold's ready. She's ready, right? Awesome. Second rule is reciprocity. First, and then you receive. You're like, oh, Elizabeth, I already knew that. I post all the time. Right? That's one scenario. Or the opposite scenario is that you are an overgiver. And I totally get that. I want to say I'm a recovering overgiver too. I've just learned how to turn that as a weakness and turn it into a strength. And this is why I'm all about charging higher, because you will overgive. So you might as well price higher so that you know that you can give to quality people who value what you do. And it just creates a much more zen and joyful interaction, right? And here's the thing. Do you give first so that you can then receive? And I'm just not talking about like posting educational tips or tricks. I'm not talking about just advice. I'm not talking about, oh, go here and read my blog to learn more. I'm talking about reciprocity with giving, being that you, when you show up in your social media, again, going back to the first step, right, with know, like, and trust with credibility, that you're adding to the conversation that's going on in their head. You know your MVP, your most valuable paying customer so well that you know the dialogue that is going on in her head, right? I often teach my students and clients the difference between problems and pain points. And what people pay a lot more are pain points, not problems. Problems, you might go in to see your doctor. You might just go online and Google the symptoms and treat yourself. Pain, you're going to go to the ER now. You're going to go to the urgent care now. And guess what? Urgent care and ER is a lot more expensive than scheduling an appointment to go in and see your doctor for a certain problem that you have. It's a little uncomfortable, but it's still tolerable, right? The example that I often use is like this. It might be, hey, I know I need to lose weight. I know there's opportunity for me to create a healthier life, right? I've been overweight for a really long time. I know I got a problem. I don't need anybody messaging me, trying to sell me health products and telling me I need to lose weight, right? But where it becomes a pain is, oh my gosh, I just got engaged, right? Oh my gosh, met the, partner of my dreams, about to get married. My wedding is a year from now. And I want to be the most beautiful bride ever. And all of a sudden now, all my insecurities about my body and my weight are coming up. Now I just went from problem to pain point. I want to lose this weight. I got 6 months, 12 months before the wedding to lose weight, right? And so the more that you can start to think about really the difference between problems and pain points. And that when you're giving and adding to the conversations that are happening in your MVP's head so that she or he starts to shift their thinking, their doing, their patterns by saying, you know what? Elizabeth just made a really good point about that. I never thought about life that way. Oh, Tom over there, I never thought about, really my health that way until Tom was sharing that. And I just realized, like, yeah, that's important. Your content, your marketing has to speak to these conversations that are going on in people's head. That is reciprocity. When you can give your expertise through the human connection to add value to the conversations that are going on in their world strictly through social media, strictly through email, strictly through the content that you're putting online, my friend, that is giving. That is reciprocity. You give with intention to elevate, to make their world even better by disrupting their same thinking that's keeping them playing small, by disrupting their patterns of behavior and habits that are not serving them, right? Disrupting their thinking that is keeping them, playing small, but lacking confidence, giving their power away, right? Investing or buying products that are truly not good for the environment or their health or their families when they have options that are organic, that's better for their health, that are environmentally friendly, that are better for the environment, right? When you can speak to this, folks, with reciprocity, right, you will start to receive an abundance, right, of sales, right? So let's go here. So Gold says she's overgiver. Yeah, overgiver here, right? And she says, yes, people relate to pain more. Yeah, there's a difference between problem versus pain, right? And I see Kajua here. She says, hello, Kajua. So good to see you here as well. All right, so let's jump into the third universal rule, the third golden rule when it comes to selling faster with the human connection. Okay. The third one is, are you reliable? I want you to just think about that for a second, right? In sales, sleazy sales, oftentimes the person that's selling to you, right, is treating you like a one-night stand client, aren't they? They want your money, get you in and out, right? And then that's it, right? But when you are truly growing your business and you believe in service and reciprocity and you believe in wanting to grow your business by creating relationships with customers, not as besties, okay, but for repeatable business in your business, are you reliable? And what does reliability look like in your business? Consistency, 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 consistency. Are you showing it consistently on social media, whatever platform that is? Are you consistent? 3 times a week, you're showing up. 3 times a day, you're showing up. Whatever that is for you. Are you showing up consistently? That is the first true test. The second thing, are you consistent with your message? This week, your business is what? Next week, you changed your mind. You now are working on a second business, right? This is for my multi-passionate builders who are building out multiple businesses and multiple products at once. Ugh, one bridge, never built. When you show up on social media, some people may be impressed that you're a powerhouse and you got so many things going on and you're multi-juggling and multitasking. It makes you feel like, you've got yourself together. And people that like you, like your friends and family, they're going to be like, kudos to you. Great job. Super impressed, right? But if you're trying to attract an audience to convert and sell and actually work with clients, they're so confused. This week, you're selling what? Pillows. The next week, you're a business coach. And then what? 3 months later, you're now a health coach, right? Like exactly what is it that you do and what is your message? Consistency in showing up, consistency in your messaging. And lastly, are you reliable? Is are you consistent with inviting your audience that you're open for business? This is such a hard one. So hard. Because when you are purpose driven and service driven and an overgiver, there's a lot of mindset that happens with fear of asking for a sale, right? But I don't even say you got to ask for the sale, right? I don't even say you got to ask for the sale, right? Gold says one night stand. Yeah, yeah. There are people that are like that. Consistency is key, but so simple, but so hard. True. Showing up and letting people know that you're open for business is not just, hey, buy my product every single day. Showing up that Showing up and letting people know that you're open for business are simple calls to action that positions you as the authority expert in your business. Hey, send me a DM if you would love to get tips on this. Hey, book a free call with me if you would love some clarity or a consult on this. Hey, join my group. Hey, go here and download my freebie or lead magnet. And then, yeah, hey, I have this program that's for sale. Check it out here. That right? You got to sprinkle your conversations with your audience, your content building, your content empire with consistent invitations that you're open for business. This is so key, folks. This is how I can tell if someone is a hobby or a business. This is so key. I want you to just take a moment to think about this, okay? Let's put you right in the seat of your customer. Okay. You have worked really hard for your dollars, right? Your dollars help provide and care for those that you love. Okay. That's hard earned dollars. All right. When people come and they're selling to you, and this is where you have to recognize that when you're asking for the sale, the trade off that you're asking for is those hard earned dollars that that person over there has in their wallet to care for their family. I want some of that. Okay. So you got to honor that. I'm just saying. And so, from their perspective, if they are going to invest their hard earned dollar with anyone, do they want to invest it in someone who's dabbling and 1 minute they're here and then 1 minute they're out because they're all about one night stand clients? Like, hey, I got something to sell, got my money, I'm out. And then they don't get back to you on DMs, they don't respond to your emails. All of a sudden, the next time you see them on social media, they have this new business idea that they're working on. You're like, wait, what? Or do you think that that person wants to invest their hard earned dollar in someone who perhaps might be starting out or launching a new idea, right? But is truly committed to what they're doing? And I can tell the hard work is there because I see you consistently showing up. I see you consistently making the invitation that you're open for business. And by this point, if I'm still following you because you already went through the two prior golden rules of are you credible, reciprocity, and I'm still paying attention to are you being reliable? Are you making an invitation that you're open for business? Clearly, I know you now. I like you enough. And if I'm going to have to choose between maybe investing my money in you or going to someone else, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to say yes to you. Are you hearing me on that? If you are hearing me on that, drop me some fire in the comments. Let me know. I don't take lightly other people's hard earned dollar. This is literally the conversation that I think about when I'm asked, when I put an invitation out there, right? This is not about being a perfectionist, okay, folks? What this is about is really leading with service. Do you, without a benefit of a doubt, really believe that what you're putting out there is truly creating a difference? I often say to my students and clients inside of the Customer Yes Lab, right, that if whatever you're putting out there, you can't say it with confidence and conviction and believe in the transformation that you're giving, you cannot command high prices. You just can't, because people buy from you first before they buy your product or your service. And if they're going to invest their hard-earned dollars in a program, in a service, in a program of what you're doing, they've got to feel the conviction from you. They've got to feel that you truly believe that, my friends. That is the human connection, right? I love it. Gold's sending me some fire. Drop me some fire, right? So that's really key here. So those are the three golden rules that people often try to skip, or maybe they just forget because they didn't even know. And this is why their sales comes across as very sleazy, right? So if you want to continue to waste time, selling, trial and error, playing with your mindset stuff and kind of going around and around like in a hamster wheel, right? By all means, go for it. But here I am about getting you faster sales by leading through the human connection. It is authentic selling. The fastest sell I closed was in 4 weeks, and it was a 5-figure deal. And it was when I figured out that in order to sell this fast, you have to lead with the human connection, and you cannot skip those 3 golden rules that I just shared with you. It's not about skipping or looking for shortcuts, okay? It's about, how do I build this faster? How do I get people there faster? How do I learn how to walk, right? And start training for a 5K consistently with a reliable expert so that I can build up to running that 5K or that 10K or that marathon faster. You do not skip steps, friends, when it comes to sales. It's all about, how do I get through it faster? Period. Okay. So here are 3 things that, I shared with you that are the universal golden rules when it comes to sales. But how do you start to manage it all? How do you really start to build a rhythm so that you can start to really measure your progress and how fast you're currently, selling? You need 3 things. You need a system to track your leads, right? I often say that you need this because you need a system to track your leads, because if you're having conversations with your audience, you've got to remember all the details that matter. And I don't know about you, but I'm quite forgetful sometimes. So you need a system to track your leads and say, oh, you know what? I remember Elizabeth mentioned to me that these were her 2 kids' names. And I remember Elizabeth mentioned to me that this is what she really liked. I need to note that somewhere, right? The second thing that you need is, you need to be a better listener. Oftentimes my students and clients inside the Customer Yes Lab are surprised by the fact that, during our group coaching calls, that I'm constantly practicing active listening. Because selling faster requires active listening. You got to be a better listener. Why? Because you got to learn how to listen to the details that matter to the other person, not you. And you'll notice this because you'll talk to someone who could be a potential client or could be a potential sell. And if you find yourself in your head thinking about what you're going to say next, thinking about how you're going to position your product, your service, your sale for them so they'll say yes to you, you're not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening. And yes, listening is a skill, right? And the third thing that has everything to do with your system for tracking your leads is, you got to follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. Did you get me on that? Type that into the comments. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Why is this so important, folks? Inside my Human Speak mini class, Sales Foundation for Selling, I talk about how it really takes 5 no's to get to 1 yes. 5 no's until you get a yes. And the reason why is because it's all about timing, right? Is there an urgent need? Does the person financially have the means available, right? And so you've constantly got to be able to be right then and there when your customer is ready to buy. Follow up, follow up, follow up, right? So I'd like to invite you, if you feel like, gosh, I am so ready to stop wasting time and really start to get consistent sales in my business, I am so ready right now to start selling in a way that is authentic, that does not make me sleazy, so that I can really grow my business to predictable sales that's consistent every month. I am ready to start thinking about my content in a much more strategically and intentional way about what are those conversations that I need to be having, that I should be having. I want you to check out my Human Speak Selling Sales Foundation mini course. And the best part is I designed it and created intentionally so that you can get it done in just under 2 hours. I don't mess around. I love results. Why do I love results? Because, my friend, results happen in the doing. All right. So my team's going to go ahead and post this link into the comments as well. But I want you to check this out. I'm going to share this with you and I invite you just to see if it's a good fit for you. Right. And if it's not, cool, you can go ahead and, go on with your bad self, right? Your badass self, not your bad self, your badass self, right? But if you really feel like, I really could use a way to really start to really think about how to sell much more authentically, right? I'd like to invite you to take a look at this, okay? Give me a second here, right? So this is my Human Speak Selling class. And, I wanted to share with you what you're going to be getting out of it, okay? You're going to be getting exactly, right, what I do every day in my business, how I was able to close a $10,000 deal in the DMs, the direct messenger, how I was able to get a client just solely via DM who said no to me, to turn that conversation around and turn a no into a yes, right? And this is exactly the strategies and tactics that I teach my students who are in the Customer Yes Lab that I spent a whole year with, right? This is the sales foundation. You get the success keys to conversions. You get my insights into how your income can rise with the human connection so that it's predictable. And you get my bonus, which is a lead tracker template. It's a system so that you can, one, document and track those leads. Two, remember those details that matter so that you can follow up, right? And three, start to understand the power of being an active listener when it comes to noticing your most valuable paying customer. And I want to share with you what one of my students shared with me after completing my mini course. She literally consumed it the same entire week, right? And she said this to me. I was so impressed with her. I said, dang, girl, way to go. Now go out there and get those happy sales and tell me more about it. I love celebrating with my students, whether they come in through my free boot camp, my program, or just my courses, right? She said, yes, when you are up and coming in your business and you've been stagnant for 4 months, you get hungry. And I often say that in sales, you've got to be hungry, right? If you got options, you are in no rush to get your sales, right? But literally, all she did was she took this, and I won't share with you her numbers because those are her numbers, but she literally privately DM'd me, and she said my sales have been so stagnant in the last 4 months, okay, in the last 4 months since COVID hit, because she was selling tangible products on an e-commerce store, okay. And after taking your Human Speak Selling class, Elizabeth, I literally just made as much money back as I did like before COVID. And all she did was shift the way that she was selling. All she did was start to have a system for how to be an active, a better listener, how to pay attention to the details that matter, how to follow up, right? So that she's not selling from a place of scarcity with sleaze that's so stressful, but she's truly selling from a place of leading with the human connection. Leading with the human connection. That is what I'm talking about here, folks. So if you are ready to really take your sales to that next level and really get to a place in your business where you are authentically selling, right? And really breaking down those three golden rules that I've been talking to you about, right? About reciprocity, giving first before receiving, showing that you are reliable by being consistent in how you're showing up, being consistent in your messaging, being consistent in following up with individuals, right? And showing that you are credible and trustworthy so that you can continue to build know, like, and trust with your audience so that you, my friend, can close those deals even faster. This is a really good place to start. But even if you did nothing else, even if you didn't buy my sales foundation mini class and you just literally took the golden universal principles and all those other tips that I just shared with you and started to implement that into your business, you're going to start to see a huge difference with how your audience is engaging with you. Because your content, right, especially online where there's a lot of sleaze and there's a lot of people that are hiding behind monitors and their phones, the human connection is your number one biggest differentiator, right? It's your number one biggest differentiator. Because while so many people are so busy thinking about what's in it for me, right? No, and they're not thinking about what's in it for my customer, what's in it for my MVP, what's in it for my most valuable paying customer. What is it that he or she really needs right now in this niche, in the service that no one else is doing? Your authenticity, your passion, your compassion will come through. I guarantee you stay focused there, it will come through. All right. So if you want notes from today's episode, type notes into the comments. My team will go ahead and get this out to you. And if you didn't get a chance to catch the link, just type link into the comments, link, Link, and my team will be monitoring this and we will get you the link. And I want to hear from you about how you can start to really shift your sales and close those deals even faster with the human connection. All right. So let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you next week, same place, same time. Rise and shine now. Bye.